At the time of this recording, there are currently 8 billion people living in this world, each individual with their own lives, own characteristics, and own problems. You would think that with all these people living in this world, it would be extremely easy to find companionship, right? But what if I told you that even though we have more people now than ever before, there's still a very high chance that you might end up lonely? Would you believe me? Loneliness has got to be one of the stages in life that people avoid the most. And I understand. Who wants to be lonely? Who wants to just be by themselves all the time and feel like they don't have anybody around them, right? I, for a long time, was very, very lonely. It felt like I only had myself and I was the only person there for me. And during that time, it was exhausting. I just can remember every single time I had a problem. The only person that had the answers was either me or Google. No in between. The crazy thing about loneliness is that it gives you this desperation to just do things that you normally wouldn't do if you weren't lonely. Because now I started surrounding myself with bad friends, people that weren't good for me, people that just wasn't supposed to be in my life. And I did it all because I didn't want to be lonely. If you are lonely right now, or if you can feel like you are about to be lonely, say you are in a bad situation, your relationship, you have friends around you that aren't good for you, and you are afraid of letting them go, all because you're afraid of being lonely. You have got to let those people go. You have got to get out of your situation. I would stay in relationships or friendships that just wasn't meant for me. And I just be there the whole time. I'm giving away people part of me just to stay with me. That desperation just leads you to deeper and darker places. I think loneliness is a stage in life that everyone must go through. A chapter that we must all read. And I say this because none of us will grow to the person that we are meant to be if we never go through that stage in life. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Alone is like you're alone. You choose to be alone. And you know that you could just call up your friend and be like, hey, I'm down to hang out. And they'd be like, cool, man, we've been waiting on you. You just been ghosting us. But then you have loneliness, where it's like you go on your phone and the only notification you have is from your missed credit card payment. That's it. That's loneliness right there, when the only person wishing you happy birthday is Wells Fargo. See, that's deep. That is deep. Being so alone and vulnerable like that teaches you so much about yourself. It's not even funny. If I could go back and change the past, if I could go back and put some people around me so I could never be lonely again, and I can skip this chapter in my life, I would not do it. Why? Because being lonely has really helped me. Even though it was bad during the time it happened, it was bad, but now I can say I'm honestly grateful because I was lonely. You ever heard of the saying, when a rat is against the wall, it jumps? Well, that's kind of like what being lonely is like for a human being. Your back is against the wall, it's all dark, no one is around you. You have no one to reach out to. What are you going to do? Are you a fight or flight kind of person? Are you the type that's gonna break down and just give in, or are you gonna keep on moving? That's what I get from being lonely. And if you really think about it, there's beauty in being lonely. There's beauty and loneliness and discovering yourself. A lot of us study people so much that we don't even know ourselves. One day our favorite color is blue, the next is red, but for some strange reason we know Jack's favorite color every single day, and that's just us trying to get away from ourselves. It's such a beautiful thing when someone go through loneliness and they discover what they like, what they don't like, who they can tolerate, who they don't tolerate. I'm telling you, after you go through the stage that you're in right now, which is loneliness, after you get out, you're going to realize that your toleration level is a lot lower than it used to be. You won't be tolerating a lot of things from people. It's going to just be like, oh, you're not matching what I'm trying to give. you're out, because you done it by yourself before. The loneliness now is simply beautiful. Most of the time I purposely go to be by myself. Now I choose to be alone. I'm no longer lonely. It's great being by myself. I love being by myself now. I used to not be able to stand myself. I couldn't stand me. Couldn't stand living in my own skin, watching myself in the mirror every single day. And I just go out there to just please everybody else but myself. I please everyone but me, and I just couldn't stand me. And going through this lonely stage in life to where I had no choice but to stand myself, just to look at myself in the eye and figure myself out and talk to myself. That stage in my life had to be the greatest stage ever. If you're in that time right now in your life, please do not fall into desperation. That is the worst thing that could happen to you, because then you'll be selling a piece of yourself just for companionship. Do not fall into desperation. If you are not in that stage, but you can see yourself going into that stage, let it go. Get into that stage of life. Listen, it's dark, but it's beautiful. It is an art. Let's call it the art of being lonely. The art of being lonely is awesome. I hope that my experience in finding myself and figuring out who I am as a person can help you go through that chapter in loneliness, can help you read it step by step and actually go through it until that chapter in your life is closed. Thank you for watching my video. Y'all have a good day.